Welcome back. We'll continue with changes to invoicing controls in the 57 release and start with a few setups on the store level. The first setup optionally gives an alert if the part number entered on a sales order is already on an existing open order for the same customer, and allows the counterperson to access and complete the existing order instead of continuing with the new one. This helps reduce the number of abandoned open invoices that need to be cleaned up and help ensure previously quoted prices are honored. So let's go to Invoice Options under the Extended tab, Alert if part is on an existing open reference. If the alert's enabled, when you enter a part on a sales order, either manually or from the catalog, the system will search open references in any status for that customer, and if it finds one, it'll give an audio warning and open a pop-up. And for multi-store, it's orders in the current store only. So double-click a reference, and the sales order will open to use that one. And if the originating sales order has items on it, it's still available in an open window, so finish or cancel it. And the next setup also optionally opens a prompt at point of sale, but this one is for ship-to addresses. So for commercial accounts with one or more ship-to address, but none defined as the default ship-to, the bill-to address is loaded as the ship-to address at invoicing, which could potentially result in an unintended ship-to address for the invoice. So back to the Invoice Options screen, under the Extended tab, for the Prompt for Ship-to setting, which enables or disables the pop-up from displaying at point of sale when the customer being invoiced to has one or more ship-to addresses established, but none set as the default ship-to. So check the field, and when a customer is loaded at invoicing, if it doesn't have a default ship-to address defined, but has one or more saved ship-to addresses, a pop-up opens advising that no default ship-to address is defined for the customer and asks if you wish to choose a ship-to address to be used. The prompt only displays once, so if the sales order is saved and recalled, you won't get the prompt again. And if you say yes, the Find Ship-to Address window opens to pick a ship-to. Or if you select no, the pop-up will close and the bill-to address will be used. And while we're on ship-tos, a ship-to branch ID has been added to the ship-to setup window and is used to easily find a ship-to at point of sale. The Invoice and Delivery Setup window, Prompt for Ship-to Branch ID field opens a prompt at point of sale to enter the branch ID if it's checked for the customer, with no changes to the ship-to functionality. The branch ID is tracked in the Lisa report, and to see it, select the field under the Columns Displayed button and display the report. And the next one we're going to look at provides the default settings for the sell quantity and the return quantity at point of sale, and the sell quantity at the catalog screen. There used to be just a single default sell quantity setup that was used as the default for all three places, but now it's changed to POS default sell quantity and is just used as the default for sales. And a new catalog default sell quantity defaults the sell quantity on the catalog screen. It retains the setting from the default sell quantity before the 57 release. And the default return quantity setting is on the Returns tab and is used as the returns default quantity when performing returns from an invoice image. This one doesn't just have per car 1 and 0, but it also has eligible return quantity, which means that any returns not found in invoice image will default to return 0, requiring you to input the return quantity. And now off to security setups for point of sale. 12 new procs are available from the System Security Setup screen and are used per plan to control editing price levels 6 through 17 in the level drop-down field on the Price Edit pop-up at point of sale. The invoice cost edit at POS Security Proc used to control whether or not price levels 5 through 14 and 16 displayed, but it's been replaced with these separate procs. And levels 1 through 5 have existing invoice deny price level procs already. The price change override security task at point of sale is no longer used to determine whether or not a manager override pop-up is needed when the part taxability and core taxability is edited on the price edit window. It's only used now to determine whether or not a manager override is needed when the part or core price is edited. A new override task named Taxability Change is now used to determine whether or not a manager override pop-up is needed when part taxability or core taxability is edited. And next, if the scan validation setup is set to session or persistent on the invoice options screen under the Extended tab, when you try to finalize an invoice with items that need to be scan validated, the system prompts that there are items that need to be validated and asks if you want to automatically validate them. A new override security task, Auto Validate Invoice Items, has been added, and now if you try to click the invoice button for a sales order with non-validated items, the setup is used per plan to require a manager override or not. And in order for management to be able to report users who override the scan validation business rule, the override report outputs the date and time, reference number, employee, and the overriding manager. So that's it for invoicing setup changes. And if you have questions, please check F1 Help or contact customer support for assistance. And thanks for joining us.